Hi YouTubers, welcome to one of my videos. Thought I'd give you a tour of Herb, our 30-year-old plus motorhome, which is a Talbot Express Rambler GL. Now I'm standing right at the very back door at the moment and I'm walking towards the front. These are the original main carpet and upholstery. You can see it's in really good condition. Now I'm going to start off at the dashboard. The dashboard is dated, as you can imagine, for one thing or another. I've took the radio out because I thought it was more useful to have voltmeters rather than physically listen to music, which we don't normally do when we're driving, or I don't. Now this is the battery indicators I fitted. I actually made this, and on the left it's the engine battery, and that's reading 13.7 volts, 13.6, and on the right is the leisure battery, which is reading 13.2. okay, up here this is the reversing camera monitor. I don't know if I can switch something on, just shows you a view. Okay, now on the dashboard is a little clock I fitted, so I know what the time is. This runs from its own batteries. There's camera brackets here, and this is a inclinometer. It shows at the pitch left to right, sorry, the pitch front and rear, and then the rolling left to right. I bought it so I know the angle of the van when making it level, but to be honest it's more show than it actually works. Window winders are manual, both sides, and what else have I fitted extra to the dashboard? This switch here switches on the bar lights across the front of the bumper, and there's 3 of them, and they're LED. In the front I fitted 2 new lights there, there's one there and there's one there, and that's the original one which works on the door. This is ones from the leisure battery, I think. Just a switch, there we go. Bit of a tight fit to get these in. There's 2 new ones of those, and there's one on the other side. I've also replaced the lights that were there and there with LED. Now the front side, the front seats do swivel, and that should swivel round so they can face this way. Now you may ask, how do the beds work? So I'm going to show you how this one converts for like a bench like this, and that's fairly straightforward. Is you remove the cushions, like that, you lift 2 bolts, one there, one there. This concertina's out. By the way, that's a fitting for the table. There's one there and there's one under the carpet here. So this comes out like that, and you put 2 bolts in the floor, one there, slide bolts, and one the other side. Like that. Put these catches across here, like that. So you get another storage if you want. Put that over the top, and then you can put the cushions back. Doesn't take long, like that. Right. So now you've got a bench, you can sit 2 people there, and a bench, you can sit 2 people there. You might say, well, hang on a minute, with the side door open, what do you lean against? What do you lean against so you don't fall out of the van? I'll just show you that. There's a metal bar up here, which goes in. Now I'm doing this single-handed, so you'll have to excuse me if I don't get it right first time. Okay, so the metal bar goes in like that, and it just slots in there and slots in down there, and then because there's two cushions this side, you put that over the other side. So you've got a bench that way and a bench that way. Now I'll just show you what it looks like from the outside. And this is what it looks like from the outside. And here's a metal bar I inserted. You can see it just slots in there, and it's got press studs to hold the cushion. This bit folds out to touch the door, otherwise it moves backwards and forwards. And here you've got one table, and these are the ramps if you get stuck in the mud, to get you out of the mud, and they just sit out of sight there. And you can actually get a water container in here if you wanted to carry an extra one. Right, continuing on with the filming, I had to stop because there's a workman in the street. But I'm going to show you how this turns into a single bed, and I have to remove the headrest, and I don't know whether I can do it holding the camera. You just pull it up, there we go, pull it up and it comes off, and what you do, you push it, just leave it down the front there, like that, and then what you do, you bring this forward as far as you can get it. This is the passenger seat. So it's under the dashboard, and then what I do, so there's a bit of dust in there, what I do to protect the seat when it goes down, I put one of these spare floor mats on there. It's just what I do. Okay, so the passenger seat pushes forward, you then rotate this all the way down. It's a bit rattly, and it locks down in position like that. Okay, and just put that cushion up there a minute. I need really two hands to do this. And that's it. That's a single bed made up. I haven't put the cushions in fully. Push them in a bit more. And this vehicle can be driven with this single bed made up like that. And it's quite long. You could sit 1, 2, 3, 4. You could sit 4 adults on that. You can't sit them on that bit because that's nothing underneath it. And if you were on your own, a single person travelling in Herb, you could leave that set up as a bed easily, and that's it. And same applies to the driver's side. This seat, this bit pushes under the steering wheel, you move the headrest, and this come down exactly the same as that side. And then to make it into so there's 2 singles, and to make it into double, you get the table and you put it onto this lip, and the table's outside, and I'll just go and get the table. There's 2 tables in the van. That's only got one, and there's a place in the floor where the pole goes in for the table there, and the pole sits up above the cab. And these, I'll just put the camera down. You get the two tables in here. That's one in. The other one goes in here, and then basically this cushion comes out from here. These go across, and that's your double bed. And if you're not very tall, with this off and this into a bed, you can sleep widthwise just about. But you can imagine from here almost to the dashboard is your bed area. So it's actually a very, very large sleeping area. And yeah, so that's the beds, that's how they go. And simple way of putting it all back, you know, with the seat normal. It's just a matter of, let's lift this out, put it up there for a minute. It's just, you wind this handle here, try and do this single-handed. It's easy if you push it. That's the back seat going back, the seat going up. Get it in the upright position. Remove the mat. Should have vacuumed up in there. And basically you pull the lever out, which is at the front. That locks in position. Put the headrest back in. That's it all back together. Now the table, one stores on the outside near the sliding door, and the other one stores in the wardrobe. Okay, continuing on with the bed theme. This here and up above the cab where children would sleep, it would have had boards that come all the way out to here for people to sleep up here, or children, because there's a weight limit. I've put these boards on to make it like a bookshelf, because there's only two of us, we've got no young children, and you can store all sorts of things up here, and one thing or another. This actually does lift up to give you more headroom, like that. I'm not going to lift it all the way, and you can hook it onto these hooks with some light little straps, and it doesn't make this flat, it makes it more that shape, so it gives you a little bit more headroom. If you're sitting here, you can see this bit lifts up. Okay, now these boards here, I've cut them with insulation silver foil stuff on them, and they're to go across the windows, which are not double glazed, because these side windows are double glazed, but obviously the driver's window here is single glazed. So there's 4 of these. One fits in there, the passenger side window, one fits in there, and the other 2 go in here. So in the winter it blocks the light, but it also, it's got insulation material on, and they just push in to the windows. For the windscreen we carry a foil we put on the outside in the winter, which is that. But on these side windows you've got these blinds. Well, it's probably easy on this one. I'm trying to do it single-handed again. You've got these blinds which have got silver foil on. We put those up, and there's a fly screen there which fully work, but we've got these curtains Jane made which have got this silver on. So as well as having these blinds up, keep the light out or in, we've also got these curtains we pull across, and the same with the back, and these curtains there I took and tie down out of the way, so that gives us some insulation. And as I say, there's insect guards there. So these wooden units go across the side windows, silver foil goes around the outside of the van, and the blinds go up, and the thermal curtain. Now this curtain here is for the inside. You put your visors down and you can see there's a track there for these curtains to go across. So that sort of covers that off. Right, what else is there? Yeah, modifications. Right, we'll just start under here. Under this one is gas bottle and an area you can store shoes. This is the extra area when this is made up like this. This side of the van, I'll just move the cushions and I'll show you what there is. Move all these cushions out of the way totally. Right, let's get them out of the way. Right, in here, this is where the hot water tank used to be. It used to occupy all this area, and because we tend to stop on sites, we don't use the shower cubicle for showers, and we got rid of the hot water system. Right, the reason we got rid of the hot water system is, one, it was leaking, condemned, old, and it used to take all this cupboard up. And when you're away like 8 weeks at a time or even more, storage is more important. So I got rid of it, and this all became storage. And it also allowed this to be storage under here. So storage there, storage there. Now under this one, this is where it gets interesting. There's the tank for the diesel heater. Because although this vehicle is diesel, we run the diesel heater on paraffin, kerosene or diesel. It could be easily modified so that it could run from the main tank, because it's only got to run from here under the bonnet. Right, I'll just put that back. There we go. So that's storage, all storage there. Okay. So where is the diesel heater? It's there. It's under here. It's under this false bit of wood. It's there. And it runs that way. So that's where the diesel heater is. Sits there. This box here with food in, I've made it so it's removable. It comes out completely. There's a handle there that can be full of shopping, and you can lift it just back into place. This plastic in there is just to, because we did have some mice getting in the van. In fact, you can see the diesel heater sitting down there. Right. So I've got all that extra storage and got this. There's tins of food in here. Right, on the back of the driver's seat, the leisure batteries underneath the driver's seat, and in there, as well as a leisure battery, it's tow ropes, starter lead, electrical test equipment, your multimeter, spare bulbs, all sorts of, actually under there, and I'll show you that from the front. I've put a inverter there, which is only a low power one. It will give up to 500 watts. It's not a pure sine wave. This was for connecting soldering irons and few equipment and charging torches and things like that. And I've put an extension on it there to make it easy to get to. And it just switch it on there, and it just goes straight to the leisure battery. So there's that. And you can see how much space we've got, and I'll put that big cushion back. This will fit both sides of the van. It's identical to the other one on the other side. And this wood, as I say, goes against the bodywork to give you a bit of air space. And that can go back in there. That's back in there. That goes back in there. And that goes back in there. Right. So that's all storage. Now I'll just show you what I've done under the driver's seat and the passenger seat. I'll just go outside. Now, I don't know if you can see this. I've got little screws actually. Under here is a leisure battery and jump leads, tow ropes and things like that. And I've done the same with the other side. Now under the passenger side, under there is first aid kit, jack, warning triangle, puncture repair kit, toolbox, and there's a 4-wheel drive air compressor I've fitted. It's not permanently fitted, it's just placed under there, under the passenger seat. Cooking. Now this side of the van is where the sliding door is. I made this lift up extension to the work surface. Cutlery, more cutlery, pots and pans in there, and in here, kettle, toaster. It has an oven, it has a grill, it's got 2 rings. Just put this up. Just put this up. It's got 2 rings. So you've got two burners, grill, oven, all working. It also has an extractor fan, which is in there. This is where this extractor system is. For any steam and things coming up there. And that's switched on there, which got fan in the back cupboard. Right, shut that down. That down. That's a 12-volt outlet. I've got an adapter for that. You've got 2 13-amp sockets and 2 USBs. I've got another cupboard up here for cups or whatever. This one's, oh yeah, there's a plates and cups and bowls all in there. Directly opposite to that is the wardrobe. Hello! There's a wardrobe, quite large. Below that is a gas fire, which has been tested and fully okay and does work. Little shelves, clock, a controller for the diesel heater, and in here, this cupboard was like a cocktail wine glass in there, I can get in there electric heater, the wheel chocks, two fold up like garden chairs, barbecue, tools and things like that, and I made this drawer for odds and sods. There's all sorts of odds and sods in here, the torch and things like that, and I made that and that. Right, moving on, I suppose I could cover lighting. This one's runs from 230 volt here, that's 12 volt reading, that's 12 volt reading, the main power's off at the moment. I talked about the wardrobe, and the bottom of the wardrobe, hidden right at the bottom, is the water pump, which is a new water pump. Then over here you've got, let's just move this out of the way, this is where you've got two more low power 13 amp outlets when you unhook up. You've got the taps, you remember you've got no hot water, and this is the sink here. Directly above the sink is another LED light, and then you've got storage up here for all sorts of odds and sods, and then this is our bad cupboard, where this is a bit rubbishy, but we put crisps and chocolate up here and all sorts of things there. Right, below, this is more, that's where the sink protrudes down. You've got storage for like washing up stuff in here, and then more storage down here, and this is where the actual leisure and main battery charger is sitting. It's sitting there. There's a switch just there in this bottom of this cupboard. This is where the original fridge was, the three-way fridge, and I swapped it for a compressor fridge. But because this is the original three-way fridge was a lot larger, outside dimensions I should say, I was able to put an extra, this is an old diesel fuel tank. I say old, it was a new one, I never used it for diesel, and I use it for drinking water, sitting down there. I also made this shelf drawer above the fridge, and this was all extra space created because the newer fridge external dimensions is smaller than the original, so this is like a drawer that Jane puts a drawer in, pens and things in. Not my best effort, but it does work. And again, I'm trying to do things single-handed. I can't get the catches on. There we go. That just stops it from coming open, and that's the fridge. I'll leave it open. Time being. At the back is the main control panel, and with a shelf here, and in this shelf here there's a device there which gives you two USBs and two cigarette outlets which plugs into there. There on the panel you've got extractor fan, water tank level, pump master switch, fan master switch, and that's how you set up the tank. That overrides the reversing camera. I've just got a thermometer there. This is actually more for fun. I made that. Okay. because we've got a light under here, we didn't need that one. Right, curtain for the back, fire blanket, carbon monoxide, smoke detector. In here is the which was the shower area. This area was the shower area. It's now got towel rail there, heated towel rail, which runs from 230 volt when on hookup. You've got in here some magnetic hooks, because the outside of the van is metal, so that you can hang your washing on the outside. There's also some clips. There's a light in here. This is the original light. It does work. It's enough light for actually. And then you've got wastewater container, another freshwater container, porta potty. These are all disconnected, blanked off. And this is where the magic can happen, because this door, like that, goes across and separates the rest of the van, so you can use the toilet and use the sink here to wash. I'll show you what it looks like from the other side if I can. It's going to get my finger trapped in this, aren't I? It gives you privacy. There we go, privacy, like that. Alright, put that back. Just twist that knob here and shut the door. We keep the step in here as well. Roof vent there's been repaired, and I repaired this one. What else is there? Fire extinguisher. Yeah, I'll show you something I've made. Oh yes, we've got these on inside the wardrobe, and I made this, and I'll try and have things. Oh, that's the electric isolation there, and you've got two big areas up there. This is just to keep the moisture down in the van. This is something I made. It can be used in several ways. One, it can be used as a small table between you. You know, there's enough area. It could be used to reserve your space on a proper campsite. And something else you can use it for. I'm just going to stop the camera. Yeah, this piece of wood I made could go across under the cushion there with a mat on it, these mats. And that, you can put your coffees on there and things. It can be used for reserving your campsite pitch by just putting it outside. You can use as a standalone table, but it also gets used across here like that. There's an extra drying area for your pots and pans and things like that. We use this back shelf, by the way, for charging our phones, because it's got a pocket. Oh yeah, there's these hooks as well, and yeah, loads of room. Okay, so I'll just go over this again. Two 13 amp sockets there with two USBs. That's a 12 volt outlet. I've got an adapter for that. There's another adapter thing here, so you can plug in there and give USBs here. There's two sockets here. There's two sockets down on the floor. That one is feeding the towel rail. The cable just runs through this cupboard into that area. What else is there? yeah, these windows did open, but I've sealed them up because they lay over like that. On really windy, wet days, you can get moisture coming in, so I've sealed them up. And that one, there's curtains on there. Over here is this one is the solar panel controller. It's only a small one, and it's got 2 USBs on there. That's the split charger for the engine and leisure battery. That's driven by the solar panel, and I built that myself, and that charges both batteries. On the driver's side, this is blanked off, so no water can get in. Electric hookup, that's blanked off, there's no gas fridge. This vent is blanked off because that was to vent the fridge. Water filler, water tank is underneath there with a blue bit of wood. That's got a new tap on it. The drain is here as well. Drain is there. Very easy to get at. Wind out awning. It does work. It's a bit difficult to get back, and some of the plastic ends are deteriorated with the sun, you know, they've all gone a bit grotty. I think you can buy new ends for them, and at some point one of the bars has been bent, so it can be a bit tricky to get it back in, but it does work. The TV aerial on the roof's disconnected. This is the fuel filler. Here's the light bars. This is a fiberglass bumper. These light bars look showing their age. Could do with replacing. They do work. The paint's peeling off this fiberglass. Under is a stainless steel lump of metal. Yeah, to do with some body work. There's a bit of rust here. It's touching up, repairing, and on the pillar here where it's been in storage, it wants a bit of light body work doing. It's not failed an MOT since I've owned the vehicle. It's just passed its MOT in April. Well, it run out in April, but I got it done early, but it's still valid from April to April, so the MOT will be due April 2024. The advisory was a brake light bulb and grease on the boots, but they're new drive shaft boots anyway. It just wants a bit of tarting up, you know, like around here. Could do with a bit of smartening up. And then the back window on the door lip just here, there's a bit of rust coming through there, and then on that one, and then behind the number plate I noticed just here, so that could do with some attention. There's a reversing camera sitting up there. Yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah, there's some bits here want touching up. But really, overall, for a 30-year-old vehicle. Oh yeah, that's the outlet from the diesel heater, and it's got a pan underneath to stop grit and stuff getting on the diesel heater. I'll show you. See that metal plate here? That protects the diesel heater. You can see the exhaust is fairly new. Tyres, they're all like that, including the spare.